In this video, we're going to learn how to use factorization method to solve quadratic equations. So let us look at these two equations. So let us start with the one on the left. So we have 4 minus 25x squared is equal to 0. So for us to be able to solve any quadratic equation, it must be in the standard form. And the standard form of a quadratic equation is given by a x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So it means therefore that we have to rewrite this equation in this form. So we have minus 25 x squared, and then b in this case is not there, so it means b is 0. So you say plus 0x plus c, and our c is positive 4. So the next thing, for us to be able to use factorization method, we have to get two numbers whose sum is the same as b. B in this case is 0, and whose product is the same as a times c. So a in this case is negative 25 and c is 4. So negative 25 times 4 is negative 100. So let us look for these two numbers. So these two numbers, you will find that they are positive 10 and 10. You add the 2, you get 0. You multiply the 2, you get negative 100. So the next thing is just to split b into these two numbers. So we're going to have minus 25 x squared minus 10x plus 10x plus 4 is equal to 0. So let us look for the common factor between these first two terms. So the common factor in this is negative 5x. So in the bracket we have 5x minus 2. So we expect to have 5x minus 2 this side as well. So for us to be able to obtain positive 4, it means we multiplied negative 2 by negative 2. And that's equal to 0. So the next thing would be to rewrite this equation, but this time we are going to pick the first one as negative 5x minus 2, and then we pick one from the bracket, that is 5x minus 2, and that's equal to 0. So from this, we can see that either this or this is equal to 0. So if we take that minus 5x minus 2 is equal to 0, then that means that we are going to have minus 5x is equal to 2, so that x is equal to minus 2 over 5. And if we took that 5x minus 2 is the one that was equal to 0, then 5x would be 2 and x would be 2 over 5. So it means x is either minus 2 over 5 or positive 2 over 5. So let us look at the other equation, the one with 3 terms. Let us see how that works in this case. So the other equation was x squared minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. So again, the first thing you need to do is to rewrite the equation in its standard form. That is, if it is not already in its standard form. So our equation is already in its standard form. So all we need to do is just look for the two numbers whose sum is the same as b, and b in this case is negative 1, and whose product is the same as a times c, that is 1 times negative 6, which is just negative 6. So for you to get a product of negative 6, you can take negative 1 times 6, or you can take negative 6 times positive 1, or you can take minus 2 times 3, or you can take minus 3 times 2. So amongst these possible products, which one of them give a sum of -2? The first one does not, the second one does not, the third one gives a positive one, but the fourth one actually gives a sum of -1. So it means therefore that the two numbers we're looking for are -3 and +2. So all we need to do is just split our b into these two numbers. So we're going to have x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. So the common factor for the first pair is x into x minus 3. So you expect to obtain x minus 3 for the second case. And for you to have obtained -6, it means you multiplied -3 by +2. And that's equal to 0. So take the ones outside the bracket, that is x plus 2, and then pick one from the brackets, that is x minus 3, and that's equal to 0. So it's either this or that is equal to 0. So if we take that x plus 2 is equal to 0, then x is -2. But if we take that x minus 3 is equal to 0, then x is equal to 3. So it is now clear that the value of x is either -2 or +3.